Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, I am going to share the Paizo preview for August 2023. I should point out, it's going to be a little different this month. It's going to be a little strange because I'm actually going to be sharing a first look at last month's first chapter of the Sky King's Tomb Adventure Path, Mantle of Gold, because, funny enough, the July releases from Paizo didn't show up until August. In fact, the package showed up the night before I was leaving to go to Gen Con. So I did not share any first look videos for last month's releases. So I will have my review of Pathfinder Rage of Elements very shortly. Even though there's not a first look video for that, I'll make up for it. We'll take a deeper dive into that book. I also have a review of High Helm on the way as well. And Sammy actually has her review of Mantle of Gold done, and she's sending it to me. So we will actually have that review, the written review, out within the next day or so. So I want to point that out because you're going to see something that's not really an August release, but I didn't have an opportunity to share it. And I feel kind of weird sharing the second chapter of the Adventure Path without showing you the first. All right, all of that said, we're going to start off by taking a look at Pathfinder Flip-Mat Underground City Multi-Pack. So this arrives, I believe all of these August releases are slated for an August 30th release date. And the ones that are available in PDF are also going to be available on that Wednesday too. So this carries an MSRP of $26.99, or you'll be able to get the PDF for $9.99. So off to the other camera, because here I've got the Underground City Multi-Pack. So let's get the shrink wrap off. Dwelling down below. Not every part of the sprawling underground realm of the Darklands is a monster-infested wilderness. Numerous people live in its cities for protection, trade, and prosperity. Pathfinder Flip-Mat Underground City Multi-Pack provides ready-to-use subterranean settlements for the busy game master. Whether you need miners' residences, a central meeting plaza, a series of forges built around lava-filled channels, or a busy tavern with its own fungus farm, these diverse neighborhoods have you covered with 4 different maps in all. All right, so let's take a peek at them. Of course, it is 2 maps. They are dual-sided. And as I always point out, if you play skirmish miniatures games, these work perfectly for them because these are 5-foot square grids. All right, so just going to take a peek here. So this looks like this is the kind of like the plaza. It's like a plaza area here. Flip this on over. Then this looks like dwellings. That'd be like living in a cell. It's like there's a bed. 10 by 10. Ooh, no thanks. It's a little bigger at least. Just kind of give you a quick peek through. This is the tavern, I think. Yes. I thought I saw the fungus farm there. So here we go. Oh, that's actually a pretty good sized tavern too. And we've got the bar and back room. And then here's our fungus farm. And then we've got our forge. Or forges. So once again, this is the Pathfinder Flip-Mat Underground City Multi-Pack, MSRP $26.99, or grab the PDF for $9.99. Next up, we are going to take a look at the Harrow Deck. That's right. The Harrow Deck actually had been delayed because, if I remember correctly, the last Pathfinder Adventure Path was going to utilize these cards, or did utilize these cards, but the cards weren't out yet. So this carries an MSRP of $39.99. You can get the PDF for $19.99. So let's open this up. So it contains 54 cards. Find your future. Divine your destiny with the Pathfinder Harrow Deck, the legendary fortune-telling deck of Pathfinder's Age of Lost Omen setting. With this 54-card full-color set of fortune-telling cards, you'll learn how to include the Harrow in any tabletop RPG game and enhance play with immersive fortune-telling methods and other insights. With vivid art, pattern backing, and a size common to many real-world tarot decks, the Harrow Deck straddles the lines between game supplement and storytelling set piece. Master the Harrow and make the future anything you desire. Does this have a Yep, I was going to say it's got a little magnetic box clasp to close it. All right. Let's plop that on out. So we've got a rule book. Going to tell you how to interpret the cards. It's kind of wild. Okay, and then we've got the deck. It is in shrink wrap. It's kind of cool how we've got this here. Let me grab my hobby knife. We're not going to look at each and every card, but we'll take a peek at a few of them. Give you a good feel for what's in the deck. I definitely like the design. Almost kind of a foil design to these. The Paladin, the Keep, the Big Sky, the Beating, the Cricket. Hey, Jiminy. The Crows. Definitely like the artwork on these. These are pretty cool. The Teamster. The Hidden Truth. It's kind of got a bit of a, almost like Robert Crumb look to it. The art style. The Vision. The Winged Serpent. The Carnival. The Empty Throne. And we'll take a look at one more. The Twin. Cool. So we've got the deck. Nice box to store the deck in, as well as the rule book. Once again, this carries an MSRP of $39.99. You can grab the PDF for $19.99. So as I mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at the first adventure in the Sky King's Tomb Adventure Path. It is Mantle of Gold. It's written by John Compton. Swing on over to the camera here. This carries an MSRP of $26.99. I think this is clocking in around 94, 96 pages. We'll see in a minute. You can get the PDF for $19.99. So let's take a look at the back here. Uncover lost treasures. Invited to a prestigious storytelling festival in High Helm, the greatest dwarven city in Golarion, a clan's eclectic guests explore every corner of the metropolis to build their own legends. Yet when these budding celebrities find a relic linked to one of the dwarven kinds, or I should say one of Yet when these budding celebrities find a relic linked to one of dwarven kind's greatest heroes, they're drawn into a mysterious and ancient urban intrigue that kicks off a deadly treasure hunt. The Sky King's Tomb Adventure Path begins with Mantle of Gold, a complete adventure for 1st to 5th level characters. So let's take a peek inside. So we've got some additional writing from Carolyn DeMarco and Vanessa Hoskins. And of course, we've got quite a few interior artists as well. And this is an adventure. So let me point out that if you are a player hoping that your game master is going to run Sky King's Tomb, definitely recommend tune out now, because even though I don't know anything about this adventure path outside of it taking place in High Helm, at least to start off with, which ties in nicely with the recent release of the High Helm supplement for Pathfinder. We're probably going to see some spoilers as I flip through. We're not going to look at each and every page, but we're going to get a good feel for what's going on. Definitely think that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool artwork. So we're going to see some spoilers just based on the art. So just wanted to warn you about that. So we've got our High Helm heroes for Chapter 1. Tradition shapes dwarven culture, and no family in High Helm embraces their cultural heritage quite like Clan Tolort. Consider the historians of the Five Kings Mountains. Clan Tolort. Oh, it's Tolor. I thought there was a T at the end. Tradition shapes dwarven culture, and no family in High Helm embraces their cultural heritage quite like Clan Tolor. Consider the historians of the Five Kings Mountains. Clan Tolor preserves and studies the past with an eye for how it comes alive in the present. Clan performers recreate legends through puppetry shows and immortalize prior ages artifacts in public museums, as well as share resources with non-dwarven societies. Members regularly sponsor scholars, ancient beings, and anyone hoping to uncover their lost heritage. The PCs are some of these sponsored guests, whether they're studying the clan's museum techniques, presenting their own historical traditions, learning about the Darklands legends, understanding their own past to make amends, or pursuing some other cultural insights. We're going to have this getting started here. We get a bit of information about High Helm, but of course, it's just going to touch on that location. As I mentioned previously, I will have a review of High Helm very shortly. Honestly, I thought Sammy was going to review it, and it turned out she thought I was reviewing it. So I will do the review because I've almost finished reading it anyway. So we've got a little kobold there. I always say this. I really like the Pathfinder character designs for a lot of the monsters. I like the goblins. I really like the kobolds. It's very unique, very different than what we've seen traditionally with most kind of European flavored fantasy role-playing games. So we're just taking a peek through here. So we've got the first chapter, High Helm Heroes. Then we've got Chapter 2, Path of the Dagger. The PC's deeds and growing reputation earns them smiles and salutations throughout High Helms. Yet one figure has been tracking their exploits with growing interest. The disgraced dwarf Crohan Veldalo seeks upstanding and tight-lipped explorers to help him recover the clan dagger of King Targic. Then our third chapter is going to be a relic reunited with Targic's clan dagger and its pommel gem recovered. The PCs and Crohan can retrace their path back to High Helm. The expedition wasn't a complete success. The dagger needs repair, and the gem is haunted. Spoilers! But Crohan's grateful that Targic's relic might soon be returned to its rightful place. Then we're going to get into a section about lost dwarven treasures. The High Helm book has a good number of treasures as well in it. And then, of course, we're going to wrap up with the Adventure Toolbox right here. So we've got campaign relics, new gift, new items, and, of course, a wee bit of a bestiary. Zolgoths. I thought that's what we saw this artwork of here. I know, I always still think of them as troglodytes. Because I'm old school, you know. I picked up Advanced Dungeons and Dragons in 1978. So then we've got our major NPC who hires the player characters. And we'll wrap up with some ads. Yep. So there's the High Helm source book and Treasure Vault, which is very cool. Treasure Vault's very nicely done. So that is Mantle of Gold for Pathfinder. This is the first chapter of Sky King's Tomb. Once again, this came out last month. It didn't arrive, at least at my house, until August. So we're going to wrap up by taking a look at the second chapter of Sky King's Tomb. It is Cult of the Cave Worm. And let's open this up and take it on out. It's written by Scott D. Young. Oh, you know what? I forgot to take a look how many pages. I think it was 96. Was it 96 or 94? 94. This also carries an MSRP of $26.99. You can grab the PDF for $19.99. Take a look at the back. Descend into danger. Finding a legendary tomb requires tracking a legendary cave worm. As the adventurers set out from High Helm, they must brace the Darklands dangers, navigate a treacherous Fey city, and recover the relic that retraces the cave worm's path. In doing so, they learn of a deadly rival who also seeks the tomb, a rival they must stop by infiltrating an unforgiving underground metropolis. The Sky King's Tomb Adventure Path continues with Cult of the Cave Worm, a complete adventure for 5th to 8th level characters. Once again, this is an adventure. Going to be some spoilers as we page through. You've been warned. Definitely dig the cover art. So this is broken up into 3 chapters, as was the first part. So chapter 1, Candlestone Cult. Through communicating with spirits and recovering his clan dagger, the PCs hope to locate, access, and discover the secret tomb of dwarves' first great king, Targic. Unfortunately, beyond a cryptic clue that the worm knows the way, the trail is cold. So we get a bit of a synopsis of the chapter. So I think this is where they're going to discover that Fey City. Queen Frilogarma? I wonder if she's a big bad. Might be. So chapter 2 is going to be on the trail of the worm. The earthquake that disrupted the cult's ritual was no natural event, but the final act in a drama between erstwhile allies who both sought the vernal worm's favor for their own selfish reasons. Grit. He is a cavern troll. So our third chapter is City of Toil. This must be the metropolis that they have to infiltrate. Oops. Let's go back. Those dwarves who defied Torag's prophecies and spurned the quest for Sky found themselves isolated and vulnerable deep in the Darklands. Despite their reservations, They grimly followed in the other dwarves' footsteps and accepted aid from the sinister god Droskar, turning this population into the Hringars known today. However, Hringars, I know I mispronounced that, stopped short of the surface. Instead, they created their own tunnel empire, partly built upon the abandoned fortifications left by the Quest for Sky Vanguard centuries earlier. So, we're going to break down the objectives for the chapter. This must be when they finally encountered that cave worm. Oh, here we go. So we got cave worm ecology. So a breakdown of cave worms. There are different kinds of cave worms. So we've got the glacial worm, the gray worm. So we also have a section devoted to the city, Higraf. Then our adventure toolbox. So we've got more relics, some new spells, some new items, a new archetype, the Worm Caller, as well as various feats for that archetype. And we'll finish up with a bit of a gazetteer with some new creatures. So what do you think? Are we going to get the stat block for the Queen? No, we don't. I thought she was probably going to be the big bad for this chapter, but I guess not. I guess the Fey Queen isn't. Although she's got top billing on the cover. Nice. So Sammy will have a review of Cult of the Cave Worm shortly. And of course, once again, this is available on August 30th. Carries an MSRP of $26.99, or you'll be able to grab the PDF for $19.99. All right, so that is my Paizo preview for August 2023. So, of course, there will be far more coverage of these releases. Well, outside of the Flip-Mat. I mean, we've seen the Flip-Mat. But we'll have more coverage in the near future as far as reviews. So stay tuned. All right, that is it for this time out. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell, because it'll not only let you know when I upload videos, such as this month's Paizo preview, it'll also inform you when my live stream, The Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you will not find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for watching. And until I see you next time, here's hoping you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.